I feel such pressure of choosing what I wear when we go outside. Assalamu alaikum. I hope you're doing well. Today I wanted to talk about my experiences with niqab in Egypt. I recently opened up on Instagram about the toxic culture surrounding hijab and niqab in Egypt, and I shared some of my experiences and what other sisters also experience in Egypt. I probably will make a proper video about that, but today I just wanted to vent out probably, because we went out yesterday, and the thing in Egypt is that every time I go out, I have to think very carefully what type of clothes I wear, because this type of tie back, khimars and jilbabs are just considered lower class in here, and it's considered something that poor people wear, or not the most sophisticated people wear in here. And in Finland, I would not mind, because in Finland, in the Ummah that I was in, and I think this might be probably in UK as well, because I didn't experience similar things when I visited there. But of course, my experiences are very, very short in the UK. But I don't get the same vibe from the Western countries as I do in here. I wouldn't care in Finland what I wear, because nobody gives any thought to the fact that what you're wearing, what type of style you're wearing, or they would think that you're lower class, or you're not as stylish and not as sophisticated as the other people are. In here though, the classism is very real, and I only learned it this year. I've been married to an Egyptian over 10 years, and I've been wearing niqab the same time. And this is the first time anyone ever told me or let me know that the kind of hijabs and jilbabs that I usually wear are considered lower class in here. And the thing is not about money. The issue here is that it's considered that the lower class people have very different culture than other ones. Like, they have a very different way of speaking. They have very different ways of actions, and some people are just they are just totally different worlds from the middle class and stuff. That's weird. It feels already weird to talk about it like that, and I feel like such a racist or something to talk like that. But that's what I've also observed, and I do understand the concept of it. Because the people who come from the lower class and the ones who are the maids and stuff, they come from a totally different world. There are many societies within Egypt, and they have very different cultural practices. For example, I know one housemaid who was considering of marrying off her 11-year-old daughter, and that is a reality for them in those classes. So I do understand in some level, I do understand the kind of hesitance of we don't want to associate ourselves with those people. But in other cases, I don't understand it, especially when it comes to deen, especially when it comes to Sharia clothing. I just don't understand it. Anyway, what I wanted to say is that when I came to Egypt, I feel such pressure of choosing what I wear when we go outside. Whether it's we go just to the park, or if we just go to the mall, or just do whatever errands that we do, I feel pressure to dress a certain way when we go out. I'm not asked by my husband, for example, I'm not asked to do tweaks to my clothing, let's say, but I've heard from some in-laws that it would be advised to wear a wrapped shayla rather than a one piece like this if we go to a restaurant or to a mall, or to visit extended family. Note that none of the extended family wears even hijab, not even in the Egyptian style. So just dressing like this, I'm already the odd one out. I'm already the weird one. And to think that I used to wear, when I married my husband, I used to wear full black malhafas, the overhead type, Saudi style type of very religious type of clothing. I don't know why I said religious, but I hope you know what I mean. Maybe I will insert a picture or something. I wore malhafas, proper malhafas. And somebody could say that I've fallen back because I wear like this nowadays. But it is what it is. My routines have changed. You go through seasons with your clothing. Sometimes you want to wear all black. And I'm not saying that wearing all black is mandatory at all. Sometimes you just want to cover a little with a little bit bigger jilbabs, and sometimes with the smaller jilbabs, as long as you covering your shape. what I'm like really, I feel the underlying pressure there is under the surface, because now that I understand what people think of the clothing that I wear, like my husband said that some people, many people describe this type of niqab as tent. And I was shocked, and I was just so saddened that that's the reality, because I know in Finland and probably also in the UK, even some probably in Oman, France and stuff, that would be the goal, to look like a tent. And you wouldn't think that this would come from Muslims, that you or your clothing is described as tent. Yeah, I don't even know if I can say out loud what I think about that, but I wanted to come and say, like, I've been rambling, but it's like I felt so stressed, and I still feel stressed when I go outside and I'm trying to think what to wear, what colors to wear. Good safe choices to wear beige and neutral colors. So this is one of my only neutral colors right now, and like I opt out to the same clothes because I brought my darkest clothes. I brought the clothes that I wear in Finland, and I wear dark clothes, dark purples, black, dark blue. I like dark blue. When I became aware of what people think about these clothes, I became so insecure, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not that person. Like, I love my niqab, I love jilbab, I love everything that I wear most of the time. And I like this one better, because if you go outside and you have to make wudu, it's so much easier just to take this off and to make your wudu and put it back on fast, rather than just like wrapping something, putting on pins. And it's at least for me, I'm just sometimes like, I can't be bothered. I don't want that hassle. And I have 3 kids. I don't want the hassle. I want to be out and fast. So then to find myself of just thinking what other people will think, I already stand out like a sore thumb. It is just a lot. But I think after 7th of October and after everything Allah has peeled from the illusion of this world, I say the word illusion, very funny, but I feel I don't care anymore. I don't care. I do care that I take care anyway to try to make it look neat and to be presentable when we go somewhere, and especially with my kids. But as for myself, I'm like, yesterday we went to the park, and in here the parks are mostly with subscription. So it's like a sports club that has like sports activities that you can do, and you have the kids playground and stuff, and cafes and restaurants. So those are some of the only places that kids can go and play in a safe, clean playground in a way. So we went to it's called Nadi in here. So we went to one of the parks here, and I usually just, especially if we go to the city or somewhere else, not our local one, I wear presentable clothes. But yesterday I was like, no, I wore my Tasnim collections, jilbab, dark blue with black niqab. I'm like, who cares? Who cares anymore? Like, I'm trying to opt to the fact that I wear as comfortable clothing as I can. And my point is, like, they don't have to. The people who don't wear the proper hijab, and I'm not attacking somebody. If you are struggling with your hijab or with your niqab or something, I'm not attacking you. Please do understand, I'm not attacking you. I'm just like, in here, the hijab or hijab that they call it, it's a headscarf. They don't have to justify to anybody that they're showing their shape of the body. They don't have to justify that they're showing their hair. They don't have to justify or explain why they wear such a hijab, why they don't dress the Sharia way, for example. I'm not questioning them for that. I've never heard any sisters questioning them for that. They don't have to question that, but yet they question why I dress like this, or why my girl wears hijab. And it's like, we're in a Muslim country. I miss Muslim sisters. I miss the community that I had in Finland. I miss community, and I even would want to just like travel to UK or something, to just, because I follow a lot of UK sisters on Instagram and stuff. I just miss the atmosphere that I get through, of course, social media is always social media, but I just like want to be around sisters who think the same. And in my area, it's the problem, like many sisters who think the same, they are in the east of the Cairo, areas where the students of knowledge are. This doesn't make any sense, this rambling video, it's okay. But I just wanted to come here, like, why do I rather have to explain myself and alter and edit my clothing so they will feel comfortable, or they don't think that I'm lower class. Yeah, because most of the time I dress like the servants. And I don't say there's anything wrong with being a servant at all, but it's like you always feel less than. And of course, this is eventually just a me problem, because if I would just change my mentality and my thinking about the fact that, why do I think this way? I don't want to please the people. But the thing is, like, I don't want to please the people, but I don't want them to think that I'm trash, basically. I don't want them to think that I'm Muslim trash. Wow, that sounded harsh. But that's how I feel sometimes. That's how I feel that they think of Muslim sisters here. And I know this is confusing for many, because we see a lot of in social media, we see a lot of students of knowledge or niqabi influencers from Egypt, and they wear just niqabs and stuff. But that's the thing. They live in students of knowledge areas, or they live in the societies, or like the communities rather, where niqab is okay, and they are surrounded with other niqabis and stuff. And I just haven't found my group yet that I fit in. And so it's a me problem as well. Should probably go out more. I just don't know where. It's a lot of things, and I just need to change my mentality around it. If I'm not doing okay and I'm doing good, I don't need to be ashamed of anything. I don't need to be ashamed of how I dress. But it's just so tiring to kind of like to try to prove to Muslims that you're okay. And you're not a criminal, and you're not an extremist, and you are sophisticated, and you're okay. You're okay person, and that you don't have to be poor to dress like this. That is the most ridiculous thing to me. Seriously, poor. And that kind of, I understand why some Muslims in the West who have moved from here to the West, why they react to niqab and jilbab that way, because they've grown up with this environment. This didn't make any sense, but let's see how it comes. If you're struggling with hijab and niqab and you feel like left out, don't worry. You're not alone. We are here for you. It happens to all of us, and I hope we can get out of it. Assalamu alaikum.